G'day, I'm Peter Clark from Peter Clark's Tennis Coaching at the Athelson Tennis Club in Adelaide. What I'm going to go through today is a video on using the right swing pattern with your grip on your forehand. So you're going to see lots of videos that are going to explain to you what the grips are. So I'll quickly explain that, but that's not the main point of the video. Okay, so we have the Eastern forehand grip, which is straight in behind the ball, which is actually basically to hit through the ball a lot stronger. Doesn't hit quite as much spin as the Western grips. Then we actually move around semi-Western. This is used by Novak Djokovic. The Eastern Federer uses. This one's a really good middle range grip where you can actually get good penetration through the ball, still get a lot of top spin. So when we move around to what Rafa uses, we're using a full Western grip that actually gets a lot of top spin on the ball, gets a lot of work, doesn't get through the court quite as good as the other grips. So all the grips, look, three of the greatest players of all time use a different one. They all work. The secret to your grip is actually to try and get your swing pattern to suit your grip. So I'm just going to go through characteristics, and I'll just use the two extreme ones, the Eastern and the full Western, and show what happens when you try and use one of these grips with the wrong swing pattern. So, and I'll come back here. So if we're using an Eastern, when we actually get the racket behind the ball, when we come through contact, I've got my shoulders pretty much at 45 degrees, okay? Now, if I'm trying to hit that shot, so we extend nicely through the ball in slow motion, right through, we're coming around, still imparting top spin on the ball here and getting really good penetration through the shot. Now, if I've got a full Western, if I try and have my shoulders at 45 degree when I hit the ball, I'm finding my body's inhibiting where I want my racket to get to. I'm really restricted here. Now, if I try and do the Federer swing with this grip, I'm actually doing something like this. My forehand's going to end up something like this, which basically means I'm going to have one of the world's worst forehands. Nothing wrong with the grip. It's just that I'm using the wrong swing pattern for that grip. When we use a Western, the difference is we have to open up our shoulders a little bit more. So we get the ball, it's actually more out in front, and now my body is pretty much square to the baseline, or square to the net. So when we hit that ball, we're not trying to hit through like a Federer like this. It just really doesn't like to work that way. What we're actually doing with a full Western, we're coming into the ball, you'll notice I get a really big layback here. Now I can use all this layback to increase great speed on the racket head. Now as I hit, I rip around through that ball. So you open up the body and you rip that top spin. So in slow motion, I've opened it up, I've ripped that, really got that racket working around as I'm hitting. So that grip, I'm implanting a lot of spin on the ball. You know, fantastic shot. They're both fantastic shots. Just don't try and use the wrong pattern with the wrong grip. So what I suggest, make sure you're using one of those three grips. I mean, if you move outside of that range, if you move back towards continental, you won't see any top players using that grip. If you get, if you get ridiculously underneath and you're trying to hit like this, yeah, good luck. Eastern to full Western, that's probably the range you want to be in. But what you want to do is figure out the grip you like to use, then actually have a look around, find out which pros are using your grip, and actually try and copy their swing pattern. Okay? So yeah, if you get the swing pattern right to your grip, any of those forehand grips are going to work fantastic. Okay, good luck with it.